The meaning of the movie. Author Orpheus on Read for Minutes, published on the 27th of September 2019. Updated on the 27th of September 2019. Mystical drama thriller starring Nicole Kidman, The Others, directed by Alejandro Amenábar. Winner of Best Director and Best Film nominations. What is the movie The Others about? The plot centers on the life of a family during World War II, 1945. The action takes place in Jersey, in the Channel Islands. In a huge house, remote from the city, lives Grace, the owner of the house and mother of two children, Nicholas and Anne, who are allergic to light. That's why the curtains in the house are almost always drawn, and the main rule of the place is no door should be opened until the previous one is locked. One day all the servants in the house suddenly disappear and are replaced by new ones, the elderly Bertha Mills and Edmund Tuttle, and the young nude maid Lydia. At some point, strange things start happening in the house, children crying incomprehensibly from nowhere, loud noises and evil jokes. Grace begins to think that their house is haunted, and one morning she goes to fetch the priest, but a thick fog does not allow the heroine to go far. It envelops her, and suddenly, out of it comes Charles, Grace's husband, who went to war 2 years ago. Overwhelmed by the unexpected encounter, Grace takes Charles home. There he is greeted by his joyful children. After spending the night with his wife, her husband tells her that he must return to the front and leaves home again. The children, learning of what has happened, go in search of Papa, and accidentally stumble upon the tombstones of their new servants. Meanwhile, Grace discovers a photograph of the dead Mrs. Mills, Lydia, and Mr. Tuttles. The heroine then realizes that they have been working in the house for a long time, and now they are the ghosts. The meaning of the movie The Others. The main idea of the movie is that there are two parallel worlds, the world of the living and the world of the dead. These worlds are absolutely identical, and their inhabitants consider their world to be real exclusively. Grace had no idea that her family was dead, and that the ghosts that disturb her house are real people, and she and her children and servants are dead people. The dead maid carefully prepares the equally dead family for such a major upheaval. Throughout the movie, the maid makes sure that the family does not get out of the house and live their former, living lives. But this very life is lived in this house by other people, whom the dead believe to be ghosts, and sees a boy Michael and asks him to leave their house alone, and Michael, in turn, says the same to the girl. As time goes on, many things become clear to the viewer, such as why the father, whose survival had long been hoped for, returned. Why he left in the morning to go back to the front, the war was already over, why all the servants suddenly left without saying goodbye, or taking their pay, and many other things that were a mystery at the beginning of the movie. The meaning of the movie begins to unfold at the moment when Grace finds posthumous photos of her new servants and the children find their tombstones near the house. In general, the director hints at the essence of the movie at the very beginning, the lonely, isolated house, around which a thick fog always reigns and where it is dark even in the daytime, fully embodies with its external and internal appearance the afterlife, which looks little like a place for a full life. But there is a bit of life in it. Children who were allergic to light during their lifetime are now invulnerable to it, they no longer need eternal darkness and long stays in a locked room. That is, we can assume that another idea of the author was the idea of starting a new life after death, in general, a pretty good life. The meaning of the movie's finale. Others. Hearing and talking to someone on the second floor, Grace immediately goes up there. She opens the room and sees a group of people led by an old psychic lady sitting at a table. Neither Grace nor the children are seen by these people, and only the sorceress talks to them, asking questions and writing down the answers to the question, "What happened that day?" The children answer, "Mommy went crazy." The old woman tells the new occupants of the house that a family once lived there, but one day the mother went crazy and smothered the children with a pillow, and later shot herself. At this point the children start screaming that they are not dead, but later all the family members remember the day after which they became ghosts. The point of the finale is to put everything in its proper place and answer the remaining questions. The truth is far from always one, it has several sides, and everyone has their own. Admin.